Does your mom know you're watching this show? Welcome back, everybody. It's the Friday Night BS show. And just fair warning, this podcast is rated R and is intended for a mature audience. So if fart jokes still make you laugh, you're in the right place. Who are my co-hosts today? It is the moistest. It's the hostess with the moistest, Miss Deana. Miss Deana, our sexy librarian, is with us. And the guy that punches the library cards is with us, Mr. Bruce. Hello, P. Brucey. What are we going to talk about, guys? I have gotten a lot of shit on this topic all week from everyone, and everyone's got their little what do you want to call it, opinions on this topic. And I took them all down and I wrote them down. And what I did is some of them made sense and some of them didn't make sense. But leadership skills in the workforce when it comes to men and women, I think we've all been have either had at one time or not a female or male supervisor or CEO or company guy or owner. Yes, no, Bruce, no. Bruce has been man's world. Never had one. I'm surprised he didn't come along. Female electrician supervisor. No, huh? Wow.
No,
Deana has.
I was always the boss. They were never the boss.
Yeah. But he didn't have a job during high school or well, shit, high school. That was during the Stone Ages. So I don't know if women were allowed to work back then.
No.
No,
I don't
never
think
had.
they were even around yet. I don't think the apple was bit yet.
Yeah, they didn't make that major mistake for us men forever. Just kidding. I am going to do my best. And this is what I have been promising myself all week, Deana, that I am going to do my best not to throw out too many women jokes on this show today for this. I want to be serious. I want to be serious, damn it. I want to be serious tonight.
I can't even keep a straight face while you say that.
I will kind of dig into what everyone had to say, and one person actually made sense throughout their whole statement to me, and basically I have to sort of agree, and I'm going to see if you two agree with this as well. Let me put the thing up that we're talking about so they'll know what we're talking about. But basically, he brought up the fact that leadership, no matter if it's a man or a woman in that position, as supervisor or CEO, it has a lot to do is if they have been working with the company, have made their way up, and what kind of management and supervisors they had as they processed into that higher position. So you kind of have to take that into consideration. I could have been a guy that had shitty supervisors and managers throughout my whole career. And once I got to the supervisor role, I may have picked some sort of, little quirks from them that I thought that worked. And I, kind of mumble jumble them together and have my own way of running my crew. That kind of makes sense. Deana?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. Is and again, I think too, another thing that a lot of people made sense, and this is the fact that this day and age, a lot of people aren't being promoted within a company, so a lot of companies get outside people to come in for those positions, supervisors and managers positions. So there's always that. You didn't work with the company, so we don't give a shit what your skills are or how you run how you want to run this company. So you feel that has a little bit to do with it as well when it comes to leadership skills men and women.
Oh yeah.
I
have Bruce, stories.
Yeah, and Bruce, I mean, you worked with some female people that were below you, correct?
Yeah, project managers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you feel like you had to, as a supervisor, did you feel like you had to be different with a female coworker than you had to be with a male coworker when it came to?
Definitely.
Yeah. See, that's another thing that they brought up is just how one is treated as the other. Is that one is treated like a mother figure, and the other one's always going to be treated like the man, the boss, the head. You know what I mean? Do you feel that comes into play as well?
No, more than that.
More than that, huh?
No, I said it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
No,
So you never felt like, how do I put this, Dina, without getting in trouble? You never felt like they were more scared of you than the male crew.
I mean, probably, but the issue was their ability to do the job.
Yeah, that's all you cared.
Yeah, I had to put them on tasks that they could physically handle or mentally handle because it's construction.
Yeah.
Guys are built different than women in the
Yeah.
trade.
Yeah.
There are certain things that the women just cannot physically do. So even though I have to pay them the same as men, because there's no pay scale difference in the trades.
70-30.
Huh? No, there isn't.
I know.
A woman makes the same paycheck as a man in the paycheck in my trade.
Yay!
But they can't do the same job.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to be able to bend coax and all kinds of stuff. Some say that women tend to have leadership styles that are more effective than men, while others say that both men and women can be talented leaders. Women leaders are often more empathetic, nurturing, and inclusive. Sorry. And they tend to focus on relationships, monitoring, and social issues. Do you feel like that it was one of your issues with a female coworker, Dina?
Coworker, not so
Or
much.
I'm sorry, supervisor.
Manager.
Yeah.
They may act more inclusive, but
Yeah.
from my experience, that is a manipulation tactic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for me too, like that first sentence, like for me as a supervisor, I'm sure Ruth was the same way. I don't give a shit what your work, like your home life is like. When you get here, you have a job to do. And I don't care if you're having a bad day or if you're having problems at home. And I think you're going to get more of a female supervisor being more empathetic to that and saying, oh, you're having a bad day.
Well, you got that emotional time of the month that kicks in too.
Oh shit! He's trying to get us cut off the shit.
I
know.
Send your hate mail too.
Send your hate mail to Bruce.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I think that's
we all know what it is without me saying.
Yeah, nothing can bleed for 7 days on this earth and not die except for a woman. So we know that one. We're gonna get. So you got Bruce. Don't put coal in the fire. Don't put coal in the fire. And that's one thing I think that depending on the industry and the work environment and the office or outdoors or wherever you're working, I think that can be a bad thing. Yes or no?
Absolutely. It depends on the industry you're in. Absolutely.
Yeah. You gotta remember what side of the world I'm from.
Right. Well, for you, like, absolutely makes complete sense for what you're talking about, Bruce, because now I know how the union works. You have a book, and that book tells you how many hours that job's supposed to take you, but that book doesn't state this is a man or a woman doing that job. So when you have a job that's supposed to be done in 4 hours with 2 guys, and now you have a guy and a gal on there, you got to make up that difference because you're going to have to put an extra guy there or something else. And that's taken away from another part of the job where that guy could be. And now you're having 3 guys doing the job that should be done by 1. And I get that because that's where I think we run into that issue with work environments.
Or I have to put her on what's called the gravy tasks, which isn't fair because she's getting, the gravy easy job, where the rest of the guys are, doing the grunt and hard work. And, they're all kind of looking at me like, yeah, why does she get to trim out? And the rest of us are got to be bending pipe and humping stuff up to the roof and all that crap. And, she's down there sitting on a little bench putting plugs in the wall.
She has boobies.
She got boobies, man.
Yep.
Hey, she's good at filling holes. No. But that comes down to where you're working, right? It depends on what the work environment is like. But even in the office environment, when you have to take someone away from a certain task and move people around, then it still becomes very difficult. And for me, like I said, I really don't care how your day is going. And I think that's not important. Your important is you coming in to work, you punch in, you do your job. And I don't need to know all your details of what your life is like outside of this place that we work. And I don't know if I'm just old school in that way, but how do you as a millennial feel about that, Deana?
Absolutely. If you're here to do a job, you are here to make money. What happens outside of this place should be left at the door. I'm here to make money, not friends.
Right. Yeah.
That might be an unpopular opinion.
No. And I think and I'm not saying that men are not empathetic and also, wanting to know how, I ran into those guys too as well, so, but I think that trait they're saying is a good thing. And I don't know where they got that idea from, because I don't know if I really have gotten to see that in action. I know, well, obviously Bruce hasn't, but you
don't have a feelings room at your work, John?
Never had a feelings room in your work. Now, it's different. It's different as a supervisor, Bruce, and you probably remember this as well. We knew people's strength. So if you weren't someone that
part of
isn't
being a leader,
right? If you knew someone isn't a team leader, you're not going to make that guy be in charge of a crew. You just knew that. And I mean, either whether if it was he just didn't have the capabilities of being a team leader, or if he had some deficiencies, or like me with hearing, my hearing sucks. So there's a certain position at my work that I would love to have and do and get paid more money to do, but I know my limitations are my hearing, and I can't hear those calls coming through. So I know that is out of my reach. I'm there, even with a hearing aid, I will never be able to do that job. So I think as a supervisor, you need to know your employees' strengths and what they're capable of doing and not doing, right, Deana? I mean, you don't send someone to do something at work that is going to take Brad an hour to do, but it's going to take him 4 or 5 hours because he's going to run around the office.
Right. 90% of the time, honestly, I will just do it myself.
That's what ends up happening.
Just give it to me. I'll just do it.
Yeah, fuck it. God damn it, I'll do it.
No, I had this saying on the job: if I got to put my tools on, you guys are all in trouble.
Yeah. They also tend to be more open to people's flexibilities and good at working in teams. Women are good at working in teams. I will give you that. Women leaderships are also more likely to be dominatrix. I can't even say that.
Dominatrix? What?
S&M thing would have worked, John?
No. I don't want to even get into it. Demonstrative and transformal leadership styles, which can inspire people to support the organization's mission. Do you find that statement true, Nanny? I don't find. I maybe I just haven't ran into that woman.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
I got a little different article on some of that, but
yeah. In contrast, men tend to have more authoritarian leadership styles, which can be more strict. So yeah, I believe that. Yes, guys are. I think guys, when they say something at work, I think more like, oh man, see, I'm going to get myself in trouble today on this topic. Do you feel like if you were to have a guy up there and you got a crew of 25 people, all mixed, half men, half women, do you feel that, Bruce, I'll ask Bruce first and then Deana, do you feel like if the guy got up there first and said, this is what we're doing today, and then, or if the woman got up there and said the same thing he said, who do you think there's a difference on how that crew's going to listen to either one, Bruce?
There shouldn't be. Depends on where they are in the pecking order, whether they're actually placed in a position of authority or a lead or something like that. I mean, you can tell. I mean, it doesn't take me long to figure out who's got it and who doesn't have it on the crew,
Yeah.
And who can lead per se and who's a follower.
Yeah.
Per se,
Yeah. Well, if you have her up there and she's, let's just say they haven't heard the guy speak, but the woman gets up there and speaks and it tells them exactly what she wants throughout that day. Do you think either or is does that crew listen to the female with more authority?
Well,
That
I had
she
an easier way because I actually on a project I actually made a gala foreman, and I gave her an all-female crew.
Really?
You're innovative, Bruce. Yeah. Did you feel that crew got the work done?
They did. I mean, she was good. She knew what she was doing. But at the risk of the guys not really taking her order and stuff like that, I thought, you know what? I've got enough gals spread out. 'Cause it was a large job. I had enough gals,
Yeah.
even female apprentices, where I took her side. I didn't surprise her on it. I said, hey, I'm going to give you an all female crew. That way, we're not rubbing guys the wrong way, and you're not going to get intimidated by guys that are on your crew, challenging your authority, and
Yeah.
So I mean, it worked out. So the problem was that they were all good looking, and it distracted all the other trades.
Bruce, they're all good looking.
It was a cute crew.
It says, however, this structure also can lead to employees deferring to senior managers, which can slow down decision making. And I think that's true. I think there's a lot of times where even with this guy, he's I don't want to say a dick. He's just trying to do the job and he's getting it done. And there's a tendency sometimes when something doesn't go wrong, and I'm sure this may have happened to you, Bruce, they go over your head. They have a tendency to go over your head to your supervisor.
They better not, because their job is short lived. Yeah. Somebody goes over my head, they're not going to be on my project.
Yeah,
I don't take to that at all. That's just not the way the chain of command works.
I like it. Some say that women may also have the advantage in high stress situation when men may be more likely to make risky decisions. Bruce, Deana, do you feel that's true?
Yes, men are more gambling people, where women have structure and they want a planned goal. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to get there.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Research shows that women's brains, Bruce, their brains are better at managing these levels during stressful situations, which can impact decision making.
Really?
Tina, your thoughts on that one?
Girls are always better under stress, period.
Under stress, you think that women are better. Well, what happens in the home then? What happens at home then? No, I'm kidding.
What do you mean what happens at home?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I would agree with that. And like, I'm going to talk about somebody at work right now. And you guys, I've talked about her before. I am for the first time working for a female boss as my supervisor. And to make things even weirder is she's 24 years old and my boss. So I'm working with a millennial that's 24 years old. That's my boss.
That's a Gen Z, dear.
Gen Z. I'm sorry, Gen Z. And I got to say, I said it before on the show. She is absolutely the fucking hardest worker I've ever met in my entire life. She keeps, and for me, any woman that can keep 6 guys grounded and working and not screwing around and not doing stupid shit for 8 hours in a little office where we can get away with a lot of that. But she's incredible. I wouldn't mind having someone like that if I were in another work environment. I think she does a great fucking job, and I cannot be easy. And Bruce will agree. I mean, it's not easy just with 6 guys. You're trying to keep 6 guys from screwing around and not doing their job. It's a pretty impressive thing for me. So right now, like all this stuff that we're doing on this show today, I'm using her as an example because really my only other supervisor was almost 40 years ago, 30 something years ago. And that I had a boss that was a female at Budget Rent-A-Car, Joyce Vasconcelos, and she was my boss. And again, she was amazing. She knew how to run that office. She knew what needed to get done. She made sure we had the things that we needed to run an office. And it was just, so for me, I'm kind of having weird thoughts, because it's like I start looking back. Maybe you're doing the same thing while we were doing this during the week. You start looking back at your old bosses, and you start to think about how did they run how did they run those shops that you worked in, or that place you worked in? How did were they? Because I'm sure, Bruce, during your younger years, the management style back in the 60s was a lot different than the management style is today, correct?
I don't know. I was not even out of school in the 60s.
Well, 70s. Sorry, 70. I keep forgetting how much younger you are. The work.
I mean, I wasn't even really in the work into the 80s, John.
Till the 80s. Okay. So, all right. I forget, man. I always picture you, next to Fred in the Flintstone wagon.
Not that old. I bet an interesting article though, and this is by a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's whose leadership style is better, men or women? Melissa Garcia. She's a product marketing director at 12 times founding PMM.
Yeah.
And the article thing is interesting. It says most common leadership styles, and it has this all different stuff. And it gets behavior, great leaders, and it gets down to other differences in male or female leadership, communication, self-promotion, showing emotion. This is an interesting one. The challenge, and it kind of ends at that. But I thought that the interesting one here was showing emotion. This is according to the Pew.
I love that group. I love that group.
Showing emotion is a huge allowability for women, with 65% of respondents saying it hurts women seeking leadership.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that nobody wants a boss crying.
That's very true.
It says right here, forget the bring your whole self to work tenet preached by Kim Scott from one of the favorite leadership books, Radical Candor. It's a nice idea to show up with full transparent work, but really most workplaces don't want it, especially from women. According to Pew Research, for women have been struggling against the no. Was that our best?
No. Yada yada yada.
No.
Are we golfing now?
Here we go. Let me read this here, Bruce. When more women are empowered to lead, everyone benefits. Decades of studies show women's leadership help increase productivity, enhance collaboration, inspire organizational skills, organizational dictate, and improve fairness. Okay. Despite the benefits, this is the sad part, but despite these benefits, only 10% of future 500 companies are led by women. Mm-hmm. How can business create more opportunities for women in leadership spaces using that science? So, what do you think, Deana?
It is unfortunate, but yeah, a lot of companies don't want to hire women as leadership roles because obviously there's the whole misogyny, nepotism thing. Why would I give it to a lady when I could give it to my nephew? Blah, blah, blah. And the misogyny thing, white men in power want more white men in power. Sorry, unpopular opinion. Go ahead and at me.
Yeah. Women
are more nurturing. It's easier to work with a woman. In my experience, it's easier to work with however, there's a whole level of cattiness and pettiness that comes with working under a woman sometimes.
Yeah.
So according to the Garfield Executive Coaching, women tend to have more cooperative and collaborative styles of communication. On the other hand, men tend to have a more commanding and controlling style of leadership, according to the American Psychology Association. Not surprised, there being the daughter of a military officer. Men are generally seen as more authoritative, direct, and task-oriented, while women are more democratic. Men provide direction for their employees, while women encourage employees to find their own direction.
I can see that. I believe that. I see that at my job. She lets us, try it our way. If it doesn't work, we move on. I do like that. I mean, it just, again, it depends on what industry you're in. You know,
Definitely.
That's true.
definitely. You can't make mistakes where Bruce is an electrician. You're gonna really,
Kill somebody.
It only hurts. It only hurts for a few minutes. You're numb. Your arm goes numb for like 10, 15 minutes, and then you can take a lunch break. I do think that women are more sympathetic when it comes to your feelings and not so much your productivity. Is that a fair statement?
Well,
No.
I've never had one of my guys burst into tears when I scold them versus on the job when I've
Oh,
scolded.
try it now though, Bruce. Fuck, you get that Gen Z just start bawling. I'm telling mom.
Well, it would happen back then,
What do you mean I don't get a trophy?
And I mean, I wasn't yelling at him, but I was kind of scolding him for screwing something up, and I haven't. None of my guys ever cried, but
and that's a good point, because I think too, Deana may agree or disagree with me. I think it takes a lot to get a woman to that point, Bruce, where she feels she has to yell at someone in the work environment. I'm not talking about at home. At home, it just snaps.
At home,
it depends on the girl. It depends on the girl.
Yeah, too. But I think though,
every woman's the boss at home.
Yeah. I think though, it's the management styles that they've had to deal with as they made that progression upwards. Because again, like I said, when I got to where I was as a supervisor, I kind of took bits and pieces of my prior supervisors and managers the way I wanted to run my shop, and I can't see anyone not doing that. It's to your advantage to use what you've learned prior to just being an employee and making your way up. But for me, I just think for me, I think I'm more like I think I can see the guy more likely getting up and scolding someone in front of everybody than I can seeing a woman actually scolding someone over
Not
their
true.
Not true, huh? So you've been
not in my industry anyway.
But you're but woman to woman I think is different though. She's at your level, or you feel you're both at each other's levels.
No, I don't think that's true either.
No,
at least in my industry, a lot of the women that become management, I'm going to get so much shit for this, feel that they have something to prove, and they have to be harder and louder and more micromanagey in order to get productivity to be where it's at. And that's not true, not fair.
Yeah. Well, again, do you think it could be the way she progressed upwards into the company that's the style she feels that is the one that she needs? And again, like you said, she might feel like she has to be that way because she's working with a bunch of men. So I mean, I cannot imagine, like, I'm glad I'm not a woman, but I can imagine trying to be in an environment.
We are too, John. We are
too.
man.
I'd be one ugly fucking broad. I'd be one ugly broad, dude. I think that it's got to be harder on them
struggling
to be in those positions, and you, like you said, you want that respect. You want that same respect that prior supervisor or manager had, and you feel like everyone's out to get you. And I think guys feel the same way. I felt that way once I got to being a supervisor. I felt like somebody was out there trying to get my job. Did you ever feel that way too, Bruce? Or
no, I don't think
you never felt like
I don't think most of the guys wanted my job.
They didn't want your job.
No,
you didn't have any gung ho kid.
No, because I mean the gung ho kids were just like in awe. I'd walk on the job and point something out and do that and tell them why we're doing that, and they just stare with their mouth dropped open and they go, "How do you know these things?" They're just like, it's like, did they teach that somewhere? No, yeah, it's called experience. You learn that stuff just by doing so many projects. You just know anticipation of how it's going to work, what's going to happen, and how do you stop it,
Yeah, that's true. Many women experience bias not only as a result of gender, but also due to race, sexual orientation, and disabilities, or other aspects of their identity. Latinas and Black women are less likely than women of other races or ethnicities to report their manager supports their career development. I think that's a true fucking statement.
Yeah, that's true.
That's so hard true right there.
Unfortunately.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, it's hard. Like I again, I don't want to be funny and I don't want to pretend like, yeah, guys are the best and we know what we're fucking doing and we should be the only ones running companies and blah, 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 blah. But I don't want to get in trouble for that. But
there's an interesting list. It has a list of 11 leadership qualities.
Yeah, I have
right?
that one
And
too.
it fooled men and women to name their top 3, right? And the women always chose 2 on the list, and the men always chose 2 on the list, but completely different. So of the list of 11, the women chose number 2 and number 3. Number 2 is are authentic and transparent and model integrity. That's women. The men, their choice would commonly was lead with purpose and vision and demonstrate insightfulness and intelligence.
Yep. I'm 100% with that. And I could go with both ways. I want my female employer or a supervisor or CEO, or I want them to be intelligent and know what they're doing when it comes to what we're doing. So, there's nothing worse, Bruce, there's nothing worse having a supervisor that's never been in your field, doesn't know what you're doing, doesn't have no clue.
We would have that. We would call that the project managers, the engineers, because they came out of college book educated.
Yeah.
And they're in the process of trying to teach the field guys that have been doing this for years two different ways of doing things. I mean, they're book smart, we're field smart.
Yeah, and I can see why guys want that to be one of their qualifications.
Yeah. Book smart doesn't always work. It's always good on paper, but in real life, no.
Does not apply.
Or the guy, all right, this will make you laugh. He's never been in the trucking industry, comes in, he got the job. I don't know how he got the job, but they found a place for him in the dispatch office. All right. So he calls me up and he goes, "Hey, John, one of our trucks broke down. I know you're in San Francisco, but I need you to, on the way back, go to Stockton. Or was it Stockton? Stockton." And I go, "That's kind of stupid." He goes, "No, it's only this far from the map." Yeah, dude, I'm not shitting you. I'm not shitting you.
I'm not even from there, and I know that's wrong.
I'm like, it's how far? It's like a half an inch on the map, John. I'm like, do you know how to read a map, dude? There's this legend thing on the bottom. You see it says north, south, west, east, and then the scale is down there. You understand how the scale works? So that scale, 1 inch is, whatever. Oh, okay, I'll find someone in that area. I go, yeah, there's like 6 drivers in that area. I'm in San Francisco. You want me to leave San Francisco to go to Stockton, California? I'm like, doesn't work that way, man. Look on the map, man. But yeah,
I think 3.5 hour drive.
At least.
Shop did that to me. They called me, "Hey, Bruce, we want you to do a project in Rancho Cordova." I go, "Okay, but I live in Turlock." "Well, they're close." I said, "Alphabetically."
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So do you agree with that though, Deana? Do you agree that I think men, it makes sense that men want more of that intelligence and understanding of the industry that they're in, and you can understand why they picked that one as their top choice?
I honestly can't answer that question because I have so many examples of the contrary.
Yeah. What was the second ones, Bruce?
What's that?
What was the second choices?
Oh,
dude, he put his phone
down. 11 of them.
Actually. No. What was you said that the 2 were the same. Do you remember it?
2 the same.
You said that the women picked 2 of the same, and the men
they always pick the 2 same ones of the 11.
Oh, okay.
The 2 same ones, but they were never the same. So the women always pick number 2 and number 3, where the men always pick number 1 and number 10.
Yeah.
I would like to know what the other.
Oh, the other ones are?
Webinar. Yeah.
Lunch breaks. It again, like I said, I've been studied for many years.
So you want the rest of them?
Yeah, go ahead, Bruce.
All right. So number 1 was lead with purpose and vision. But that's men pick that one is one of the most common one. Women, number 2 was are authentic and transparent. So women were picking that one. And number 3, model integrity. The women were picking 2 and 3. Number 4 was inspire confidence in others. Number 5 was never self-serving. Number 6 is know when to take advice. Number 7 is listen to their inner voice. Number 8, great foresight to move ahead. Number 9, love what they do and share that passion with others. Number 10, demonstrate insightfulness and intelligence, which the men picked. And number 11, emotionally centered and intelligent. Those are the 11 leadership skills.
No one should pick 11. No one should pick 11.
I got at least 10 of those. Damn it. No, I'm kidding. Oh, no. I mean, it's tough. Like I said, there's so many factors that are involved when, whether it's a guy or a female. Like I said before, I mean, a guy could have had the worst fucking managers his whole career. And no matter how hard he tries not to be like those guys, he's going to end up being just like those guys because it's just been honed in him. I mean, I did that. I tried, like I said, I tried to pick little things that I thought were successful when I was a regular employee and I had supervisors telling me what to do, so I tried to be the same way, but I was not a no shit guy. I mean, I didn't care. Like I said, I didn't care if you're having a fucking bad day. If you are already punched in, I don't care. Now, if you call me from home and say, I'm having a bad day, blah, 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 that's fine. You're at home. But if you chose to have a bad day at home with you, all this shit going on, and then you show up at work and punch in and you expect me and the company to make sure that your feelings aren't hurt and not have our job being done, I didn't take that shit. I just thought to myself, I'm here. The crew is here. We got a job to do. Get out there and do it. That's how I've always been. I never yelled at anybody unless they were in my office. I never just got in someone's face out and with a bunch of other employees around them. I just felt that was embarrassing. I didn't want that for myself. I felt like when that happened to me, I felt like, like every eye was on me. So I made sure that was one thing I never did. I didn't yell or scream at anybody unless they were in my office. And if they were in my office, then that was different. I'm going to let you have it if you're not doing your damn job. I don't know, man. It's tough. Like I said, I think it's just the experience, how they were brought up in the company, whether they were brought up in a company or not. That's the other thing, And to me, I never understood this, Bruce. I never understood companies that now CEOs. That's different. If a CEO is an outside guy that and he's doing great for another company, sure, I can understand why this company, like Starbucks, firing their CEO and getting a new. I can understand that. You know what I mean? Go get this guy because he's But I think when companies do that, I think it really brings down morale because there's always someone that felt like that position was theirs, like they worked hard enough for that position. And a lot of times people around them felt the same way, hey man, that job's yours, bro. That's going to be your job. And then all of a sudden you come into work and you got a new manager, a new supervisor, and this guy
hired from the outside.
Yeah. Never's done anything that, involves in your company.
Yep.
Yeah.
As interesting as this topic is tonight, we actually have no comments.
Hopefully
not
it's
a
working.
single person.
I hope it's working. I'm going to test it out right now. Oh, wait. Wrong keyboard, John.
It's like, man, we haven't had anybody pop in.
Everyone's afraid. That's the thing. That's what I noticed. Well, look at the post I put. I was just kidding, adding that I don't want to. What did I write? For my safety, I don't want to vote on this. And that was almost leading because no one wants to. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a chauvinist pig thing. I just think everyone has had experiences and maybe that one gender was just a better environment or for you at that time. And I think if it was a female boss, I don't think that guys would be afraid to say, you know what, I worked 15 years with a female boss or supervisor, and it was the best 15 years of my life. I don't think a guy's afraid to say that. Do you, Deana?
I would hope not, if it was a good boss.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's just weird. I think guys are just afraid, or they shouldn't be afraid. But I think a guy, if you've had a great work experience with a female and as a supervisor, and she checked all your boxes off, and it was pleasant to come to work, and and you were getting paid what you're supposed to, I think it's fine. But just trying to figure out who has better leadership skills, I think is a silly question, because I think it's just so many factors.
It's 1 and 1A. It's very different.
I just sent test out and it has not shown up in comments.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm betting that StreamYard again is having fucking issues with their
because I see you typed home and that hasn't shown up either.
And I see test. Okay, hold on. Let me go to my page, the home page, because that's our group page. Let me see if it's not working. Maybe Facebook said, "Hey, nude, we saw this topic. We're not going to let you post.
We're not going to let you do it. Sorry, no."
Hello. Wrong keyboard, John. Damn it.
Yeah, because I'm going through Facebook and it's not coming through.
Let me see. See if that comment comes through. Okay, that my regular page works, but it's not working on the other pages.
Yeah, I'm on the Facebook Live. Oh wait,
yeah,
I can see it on the phone, but I can't.
Yeah. It's only working on my personal Facebook page. Deana, you can't open up another tab, can you? Hold on, I'll do it. I got a whole bunch of computers in front of me here. All right,
I have double screen. I'm good.
All right. Okay, so I am. Let me go to my channel. It says we're live. Let me see if the comments on YouTube are working. Hello. We'll see if
is there anybody in there, man.
I see 2 people. Yeah. See. So
hello.
Those that are watching, if you want to comment, you have to go to my page, not the group page. It's not working on the group page. I don't know why. I see it on the screen. I see yours now. Papa, can you hear me? But it's not coming up on
StreamYard.
Yeah, it's not coming up on ours. So I don't know. StreamYard's starting to really piss me off. So I may be saying bye-bye StreamYard. So I know they're having some issues with like I can't do Twitter now. I can't do, if this is the same bullshit, we'll have to figure out a different way of doing this.
What's the next platform if StreamYard doesn't work?
There's a couple other ones. There's Xstream. There's a few other ones, but and then there's always not going live, broadcasting, and then uploading. That's another thing that I've kind of considered trying to do too from now on. Maybe try it once where we just come on, just us, because we're used to it by now, and it's just us, and then just.
Well, apparently it's just us tonight.
Well, there's 2 people, and I think they're just afraid to comment. So we get that.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Yeah.
Fired.
So I mean, like we said. I mean, Bruce has never had a female supervisor, so he can't really touch on any of this. And he actually has supervised females. And Deana, you've had both, correct? You had a male and a female supervisor?
I've had male and female supervisors. I've supervised, and I'm going to put air quotes on that because it wasn't my technical position, but I was still left to do it without the extra pay or title. And I've supervised teams of whole men.
I did have a female boss once.
Oh, see, you remembered.
Oh.
Yeah, back when I was doing my apprenticeship, I was working at a pizza parlor. It was
see, that's what I was talking about.
Female manager of a pizza parlor.
There you go.
And I was the bartender.
Oh, we know you were doing that scene from with what's his name? Tom Cruise. Is it Tom Cruise, right?
Cocktails.
Yeah. Tom Cruise. Yeah. Bruce was that guy.
Yeah, well, he served beer and wine though.
Bruce, I can just like I
I
like
get the
picture
$5
Bruce.
tip for a glass of wine and a phone number on the napkin, and then
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say Bruce
I'd
is
have to
just
put it by the register, smile real cutely, and then and when they left, crumpled up, throw it away because if I took that home, my wife would have my head.
yeah. The manager's like, why do you have so many napkins in your pocket, Bruce?
She loved it because she was we got a lot of bar traffic. So yeah,
Yeah, you came home with tips, so that
I
women
did.
always like that.
I did as long as I threw the phone numbers away.
Yeah.
And they come
Yeah.
back and they
So
go, "How come you didn't call me? Somebody spilled something on a napkin and I couldn't read it."
yeah,
That was my excuse.
thank God you didn't have a cell phone back then, right, Bruce?
No, we didn't.
You would have been in trouble. You would have been
Yeah,
calling them on the way home from work.
big trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was a good boy though.
Yeah, so in your experience, Deana, if you had to choose your, and I'm putting you on the spot here, and I know it's not fair that you already have a supervisor, but if you had to choose one or the other to benefit you as an employee, which one would you choose? And I know that's a difficult question, like we talked about. Everybody, they're all going to be semi different.
That is a difficult question. I mean, and I'm trying to use the job that I'm at now because we did change CEOs halfway through me working there. And my old CEO was an amazing guy. He retired. I wish him well. He was wonderful to work for. The woman that replaced him, also, I respect the pants off of this woman. But she's changing everything. And she's making me crazy.
And that's tough too, because you don't really know if that's going to be successful or not, but it's just not the norm,
Exactly.
So, and it's just frustrating for you. And I remember getting in that situation when I became supervisor. There's certain things the guy prior to me did his way, and I want it done differently. Like one of my pet peeves were, and my old supervisor, we came in, you started your truck first, and then you came into the shop, and you started doing your paperwork, blah blah blah. By the time you got out and done your paperwork, that's a half hour to 45 minutes. So for me, it wasn't efficient. And granted, now I worked for a fuel company, and I was pissed. So fuel, so for me, I was like, that was the first thing I was going to put my foot down. You're not coming in. You're not going to start your truck first and then go sit in the office doing your paperwork for 45 minutes. That truck has been sitting idling for 45 minutes. There's no reason for
money
that.
Down the toilet.
That's
You're
money going
flushing
down the drain.
revenue out the toilet.
And I was very proud that when the owner came to our shop and saw how we were doing it, he transferred that to all the other locations. He goes, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you start adding 100 trucks sitting and idling for an hour, burning the fuel, it's a lot. So I was really proud of myself for that thing. But I got so many of my guys so pissed off, going to fucking above my head, yelling at me, and saying, and I granted, Bruce knows during the summertime it's fucking hot here. Right? I mean, I get you want to go out and start your truck and get the AC running, blah blah blah, but if you're going to come back into the office and you're going to sit in the office for half an hour, 45 minutes getting your paperwork ready, and then you're going to go back out. And this is the thing too. You go into the office, you do your paperwork, get everything done, and get ready to go out there. Now that's a half hour, 45 minutes. And then now you going outside, you still haven't even done your pre-trip yet. So that's another 15 minutes. So a whole hour of your pay was just sitting around doing nothing.
That long to cool the truck.
Yeah, it does not take that long to cool that cab. Clitter kitten.
Did you just say clitter kitten?
It's critter, John. Critter.
I know.
That's my friend Sheila. Hi, Sheila.
Hello, Sheila. Sheila. I'm joking, Sheila. I was joking.
He's not.
John's got one thing on the brain here.
I do. I work.
Old man in the canoe.
So again, Bruce, let me ask you and ask Deana. I like a perfect example Deana brings up. You come into management positions. Did you feel when you changed, did you change a lot prior to that, man, that supervisor? And did you feel like you got a little adversity from your guys? And do you feel like
no? Actually, I think most of the guys were appreciative of some of the changes because being out in the field and experiencing that work and then moving up, in rank and position to supervisor, you take a lot of what, you take a lot of what you learned, working in that position, working your way up, just to streamline things, simplify things, make things more efficient. And the guys seemed like they appreciated it because it just was a better way to do things,
Yeah.
Do you smarter, not harder?
Yeah, work smarter, not harder. And I think a lot of times people don't wait it out. It's just so much anger right at the beginning because there's change. Oh my God, it's change. And it's just like, hey, man, chill out. Give it, let's do this for a couple weeks. If it doesn't work out, we'll tweak it a little bit. At least, give it a fucking chance. I can't stand that. But,
part of the problem is like in my line, they're not looking at the big picture. I am, because I'm the boss, and they're looking at the little cog, where I'm looking at the big picture. So I don't want to have to try to explain the big picture when I tell somebody to do a particular task. There's a reason I'm telling you to do a particular task, because it's going to fit into the big picture, right? And everybody's doing a little task. It's all going to be part of the big picture. But, that's where you get frustrated was, most guys are, well, why am I doing it this way? Just trust me. There's a reason I'm having you do it that way, right? Because it's going to fit the big picture. But I don't have time to explain to 30 guys the big picture,
Yeah.
Question for you though, because I've had to train people, and of course it's a completely different industry, but don't you find it at least a little bit helpful to tell your people, hey, we're going to do it this way, because if we don't, this is the disaster that could happen. Even if it's not the big picture, give them why you're making this change.
I will give guys some flexibility, because I know it's not going to be a detriment to the end goal, but no, I will not have to explain myself, because it's like and basically I'll just tell them it's part of the big picture. I can't explain it to you right now. Let's just do that part of that task. It will become obvious here shortly. Just do your part.
Well, here's a great stat. The Ready Now Leaders report from a conference board shows that organizations with at least 30% women in leadership roles are 12 times more likely to be in the top 20 in financial performance. Yay! But we pay them less.
Yeah, isn't that hilarious?
Maybe that's why they're making more, is because they're paying those women in those lead roles less. No, I'm kidding. Researchers from Leadership Circle, based on assessment with over 84,000 plus leaders and 1.5 million raters, compress bosses, peers, direct reports, and others, show that female leaders show up more efficiently than their male counterparts across every management level and age level.
Can you say that again, please?
All of it? Okay, here. It's
the last bit, just the last bit.
Okay. It says, I'll read it. Research from Leadership Circle, based on assessments with other 84,000 plus leaders and 1.5 million raters, comprising bosses, peers, directly reports, and others, show that female leaders show up more efficiently than their male counterparts across every management level and age.
Sorry,
that's why the female topless car wash is such an efficient idea.
Well, that in a coffee shop as well. So the laundry coffee shop drive-through.
Just go to the library, bros. Just go
not
to the
that
library.
I've ever been to one of those.
I was gonna get in trouble. This is something an older person that I know brought up, and he brought up the fact that, like, he was talking about how things were in the 50s and 60s, where women were starting to become more and more part of the workforce, but only in certain roles that men felt they were needed to be there. The head receptionist, always having that pretty girl out in the office, to bring when people would come in, just those roles were always set by guys where they wanted these female workers to be. And he said that affected how a lot of times that they weren't taken serious for leadership roles back in the 50s and 60s, because they always felt like, hey, you're just a pretty piece to be here to make our customers feel safe and happy,
Mad Men is coming to mind.
Yeah. And then he brought up the fact that, and it's a great fact, because I wasn't around, but during World War I and World War II, think about where this country would be today if we didn't have the female workers step up and go to those warehouses and do those jobs that were, not occupied any longer because the men were out at war. This whole country would have shut down if those women didn't show up to those factories.
Right.
Yeah. Bruce, you remember that, right? You were around 1940. Yeah.
No, it was well before my time.
Well, do you remember, did your grandmother, was she just a home grandma, or was she, or
my grandmother?
home? Yeah. Did she have a job?
By the time I remember my grandmother, she was a grandmother.
She was, she was worked at home. I just trying to picture, like, I'm not ready.
I don't remember my grandma being anything but a grandma.
But a grandma, yeah. Yeah, I find that interesting too. I'd like to talk to some of those female they're old now, but they got to be in their late 80s, early 90s.
I have obviously no grandparents now.
Well, yeah. Since
I'm a grandparent myself, obviously. So.
Right, exactly. No, I remember my grandmother. She worked in this factory that was across the street from our house, and that factory sold the buttons on military's uniforms, and that's what she did. She would put the buttons, and she'd hand sewed every button and pin on these Navy jackets and Army and other military forces. These jackets would come in. And I seen pictures. There's like 80 women sitting at these tables and they would get like a penny a fucking coat, and they're just sitting there sewing, 5 buttons on a jacket and sewing some other buttons on up here, and then throwing it in the pile. And I was just like thinking, without them, who knows what would the United States be like? But
the military would have been full of zippers.
Yeah. Do they deserve to be CEOs? That's a different thing.
Deserve might not have been the right word.
I don't know. I now, okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I've been nice throughout this whole thing, but I feel, all right. I'm playing, just a heads up, everybody. It's not how I feel. I'm using as an example. Here we go.
It's gonna go bad.
Here we go. No. Because look, let's be honest. The workforce today is driven by men. A lot of it. There's men everywhere you go. Men are the ones that are working. There's still a good percentage of women that are still home. They want to be home. They want to take care of the kids. They want to take care of the family. They want to cook dinner. Blah blah blah. They may have like a part-time job or whatever. I think that personally myself, no, take that back, John. Not personally myself. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I think that most guys want a man in charge of them. And I can kind of feel how some men might not want to have a female supervisor directing them all day and using those traits that Bruce brought up that women are much better at than men. I think even though they are much better at that, men are not going to adjust to that type of environment in doing their job. Like I don't like I brought up the feelings thing. Hey, are you okay? You having a bad day? Come on, step off the line. We'll get somebody else to do that. And I think I could be wrong. I mean, I'm again devil's advocate. This is not how I feel. I just think that we're at that stage, and I think that's never going to change, where a man wants a man being the boss.
It depends on the industry. It really does. If you're in construction or plumbing or HVAC, yes, I can absolutely see why what you're saying is a credible statement. However, in a retail environment, in an office environment, I do 3PL logistics. It's very officey. That could go either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, fashion industry and all this, but even in the fashion industry, most of those places are run by men. The CEO's a man.
Sure they are.
Yeah, it just, I just think that that's the world that we have created, and I think that's going to take a long time before, even with all these studies. I mean, all these studies that I read this whole week has just given women props. Like, yeah, they can do this, and they're doing a goddamn good job at it. But there's still so few of them. There isn't a big enough scale yet to see if they can be more successful than a man running a company or being a supervisor or being a manager.
Mm-hmm. I think that's got a lot to do with societal roles. I mean, look at case in point. It was only the legalization of a woman to purchase a house on her own happened within my lifetime.
Yep.
That right there should say it for you.
Yeah.
And we still make less on the dollar. And we still watch our children singly make less than you and do our jobs efficiently.
Yeah.
Here we got an article that says, what are the main differences between women and men's leadership? You ready?
Yeah.
1, women have cooperative, men have command and control style. 2, women are compassionate, men are strict. 3, women lean on EQ, men on IQ. 4, women make transformational, men make it inclusive leaders. Women influence, men coach. Women prioritize, men prioritize experience. Women trust instinct, men trust data. Women cater to emotions, men cater to reasoning.
Yeah, those last two are big. The last two that you just read are big, because I think it's the difference. I think because I've seen that firsthand. I would rather go with the guy that has the data over the guy that's going with instinct. Instinct doesn't guarantee you shit. Data does. So for me, whether you're female or male, if you're going with your gut, I'm not going to be part of that. The idea that women are. You want to touch on that one? Go ahead, Deana.
It's kind of misogynistic.
It is misogynist.
Don't get me wrong. There are women that cannot control themselves in stressful situations and break down. I've seen it myself. Those people are maybe not suited to that position.
Yeah, again, it comes down to, like we said earlier, I'm not going to try to say that name. Gina, you can try to say it. We said it earlier.
Hugosaurus.
I think a lot of it, whether you're a man or a woman, is how your work history has been. So that's going to make you who you are once you get to that management and supervisor position. So I think your work history is important, and what type of boss you're going to end up being has a lot to do with your history, your work history. If you had a rough, tough work history, or you worked for many companies that have either gone bankrupt or have closed their doors, or you came. I think everyone has had. I've had a job where I came in and the chains were locked. It was shut down. Nobody knew what was going to go on. So everyone has a different work history. So when you get to a position of power, whether you're a supervisor or a manager, and whether you're a male or a female, your work history is going to come along with you to that spot. Once you become a supervisor, you start thinking, hey, man, that one company I worked for, they did all this wrong, and they weren't taking care of the money, they weren't paying attention to the inventory. This is what had them closed down. So maybe your focus and how you run those departments is going to be a lot different, than say the guy who has had nothing but success from day one all the way until he's gotten a position of power. And if he's had success from day one till the day he's going to use everything that he's learned prior to becoming a supervisor and make sure that he's going to implement those things, because he knows that's what made everything that he has done in the last 25 years successful. True?
Sure. Absolutely.
That's so me. Which one? I'm kidding.
Yeah. Which one?
Yeah. I don't want anybody. This is a tough one, because I didn't want anybody to think that I was trying to say that a man is just a better.
No,
boss.
we're reading. We're just reading.
Yeah, we're reading. Yeah, we're reading.
Google.
We're reading studies,
fault.
and as far as I'm concerned, the last week that I'm reading all these studies, women have come up on top all the time on a lot of things. So for me, again, for me, I think it's a big part of your history. Your work history is a huge part of what you take into those positions of power. Once you've gotten those power, some people handle it well, some people don't. I've had bosses that just didn't understand what it took to be a boss.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that comes back to nepotism, at least in my experience. Oh, of course I got this job. My uncle's brother's cousin got me this job because I'm so qualified.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we did read the traits for good.
We did read the traits. Yeah,
right.
We read the traits. We read them all. Yeah, we read all. We've read all the researches from Forbes to Pew. There's a lot of information that's out there. We're just kind of rambling on right now. I mean, for me, I don't care if you're a male or female. If you run a great company and you're keeping the morale going and everyone's happy, I'm getting my check, I could care less if you're male or female. For me, it doesn't bother me one way.
If you can do the job, great.
If you can do the job, and and I understand that, I don't know, Bruce felt the same way. It's just like when you get to that position of power and you have it, you can be a dick sometimes, or you can just, or have this fear that you're not getting the respect that you deserve, and which makes you even more of a dick, and I think God, yeah, so it's tough. I can imagine that a woman, if she starts feeling that way, it's got to be double, because, she may be in a career or a job or a position where she's working with a lot of men, and, she feels that she's not getting the respect that she deserves as a supervisor or manager. And then she starts doing things that she feels are necessary. I think a lot of guys take that the wrong way, like, oh, she's after my job, or she's trying to get me fired, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, no, dude, fucking open your eyes, man.
There's always going to be somebody that's disgruntled with your leadership ability.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
part
true.
of being a leadership. So you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And somebody's always going to be jealous or envious or think they have a better way without really understanding, the big picture anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right.
And leadership skills, I think, is a lot different than it's a broad word. You know what I mean? It's not, what is leadership skills? It has nothing to do with God damn it. What was I gonna say? My brain just shut up.
No, your
Pretty
leadership skills and your penis
Yeah.
have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, they don't have nothing to do with it. It's just, I mean, it's tough. Again, I mean, it's tough. It has a lot to do how you were brought up, too. I mean, did you play sports? Did you not play sports? Did you, what were you a loner? Were you not a loner?
That team player or not a team player?
Yeah, team player, not a team.
Were your parents
no
helicopter
in
parents,
team,
or
right?
were you left by your own?
Yeah, there's no I in team. I go, well, I could misspell it and put the I in there. That's what I used to say.
There is an I in team. If the A is capital, it's in the A-hole.
Okay, so that's why she works in the library, Bruce.
Mm-hmm. It's a real librarian.
Librarian. She knows those index cards.
The Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, Dewey Decimal System. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, and like I said, we read the research and we read all the articles, and And for me, again, I'm sure as I say, I don't care, man, as long as I'm getting my check and I'm showing up to work and there's, I have the equipment that I'm supposed to have. And that's a big issue with me and having the tools that you need to do your job. And that comes down to the supervisor and the managers, making sure your employees have these tools, have the things that they're needed, that are available to them to get the job done.
Yep.
And and not blaming the employee and saying, well, no, dude, if I'm supposed to have this computer in front of me every day, then this computer better be in front of me every day, and it's not in Carl's desk because Carl needs it. That's what
bunch of nails, but no hammer.
Ooh, that would suck. No, you just use your hammer.
Well, it's going to drive that many nails.
What's that movie where she says, can you drive a 9D nail through a, what does she say? It's in a movie. I know that's in a movie.
I need to know who's in the movie and I'll tell you what it is.
I know it's a movie. You've heard it, huh, Bruce? Can you drive a 6-inch nail through a 2x4 or something like that? Meaning, are you rock hard?
Yep.
Can you get rock hard?
There's a sexual innuendo on that one.
Yeah. All right. I hate doing this to you. But again, like we've been saying, I could really care less who's running the company, just as long as they're doing their job and they're doing it efficient. Do I think some of those traits are better that women have than men? Yeah, but I also have a certain way that I want to be managed, right? We all have a certain way that we feel we should be managed and feel.
I think you can get trouble for that, John.
Yeah, I know that. It's a big problem. It's a big problem, especially today. Not so much back in the day, but today it's the reverse. The supervisor can actually get in trouble for not caring about your feelings. Back in the day, if the supervisor didn't care for your feelings, they just sent you home. Now you got to go see HR. You got to go sit down. You got to be comfort. You got to feel good. You got to be told that everything's all right.
You got to go sit in the comfort room.
Yeah.
With their blankie and their juice box.
And I'm not saying the work environment was better back then than it is today. I don't think so. I think it's great. I think we have
It was tougher back then.
It was tougher.
To be tough.
You had to be tough, whether you're a man or a woman. You had to be tough in that environment.
Yep.
I think little things have changed. I think the employee today has more rights and abilities to have those feelings than they say in the 50s or 60s, even the 70s.
They're just sensitive, John. Just sensitive.
I know it's sensitive. I know. What are you going to do? Everybody's got sensitivity issues, but it's just, how you handle that person, I think, is important. And it shows, and does the female and the supervisor handle that situation better than the male supervisor? I'm going to say yes. I think the guy, even today's guy, I think is going to be more likely to be as aggressive as they were in the 70s and 80s when it came to feelings in the work environment. I don't know. I mean, I
was starting to get that way when I got ready to retire from the trade. It was
right. I think when I stepped away too,
more sensitive to the feelings of the mood of the crew and their likes and dislikes of the environment. And it's like, okay, it's time for me to retire.
Yeah. No, it was just about happening when I left the work environment. Like I said, I worked from home for a long time, so I talked about
stuck in the middle of it all now.
Yeah, I talked about it many times. Yeah,
morale wasn't like a thing that people wanted to keep up. You don't want to keep your people happy so that they want to keep showing up every day. It's
called a paycheck. It's called earning a freaking paycheck.
Me and Bruce come from that generation.
Or go home.
Yeah, but I could get that paycheck somewhere else and not get treated that way.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. In the union trade, you can't.
And I do.
Yeah.
That's fair. If you're a union, you probably can't do that.
They'll put you on what they call the book, which is unemployed.
Yeah.
Fair.
And then you have to go to the union hall and sign in every week.
Yeah. You wanted to work, you could work. If you didn't want to work, you just whine and moan and bitch and complain every time you're on the job.
Don't
Guess
get me
where you
wrong.
went?
Employers back then were dicks. It was they were we getting paid what we're supposed to be getting paid? No, but it was the economy a lot easier for us to afford what we needed because of our paycheck.
You got paid well.
But today, no, not so much. I mean, I saw a post the other day. I had to read it and I bookmarked it, but it was a couple in the Bay Area, Santa Clara, that together they make $225,000 a year with 3 kids, and they can't afford a house.
How much?
$225,000 a year.
No, they can't afford a house in the Bay Area.
They can't afford a house.
No, the median house is at least almost $1.5 million in the Bay Area right now.
Yeah.
You have to be making $600,000 a year combined income.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, Louise. It's work ethic. It's how your work history, how you were brought up in the company, and prior management, prior supervisors, I think influence how you are going to be as a leader once you finally get there. We're agreeing with you. And I think the studies didn't really touch on any of that. I don't think any of the studies that I read actually talked about work history and environment, how they came up in the company. And I think that's important when it comes to leadership. And the fact that we talked about, also the fact that, did you start with that company from day one, or did put it this way? Did you come from a cosmetic company to work at an electrical company, to work as an electrician? You're going to start running an electrician company when you've been in the fabric industry for 40 years. And now you're going to come and be a supervisor at a company that does electronics. No, you're probably going to get probably every employee there is going to be pissed off at you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and a lot of the things is these kids are coming around out of college, so they don't have any skill in that career. They have an education.
Yeah.
They don't have skill in that career.
But Bruce, the only thing that's different today, and that I have noticed, is today's employer is willing to train that non-skilled employee, where back then you didn't have the experience, or you didn't have, like for me, just to get, when I got my Class A license, it was 2 years over the road experience to get a job at any good company. It's like, nope, you don't have 2 years experience. Today,
we had apprentices.
Yeah. Today, you can come out of trucking school and go right to work. There's no more of this, hey, do you have 2 years experience? They're taking people now. And I think that's a good thing. I think that has changed, because I think brushing off someone, that guy or that gal might be a great employee, just doesn't have the skills in that environment yet. And if you're willing to train them and take that responsibility, you never know. I like the fact that that's one of the things that's changed today. I think most companies are willing to give people more of a shot than they were, say 20, 30 years ago. Do you agree with that, Deana?
Absolutely. What if you know that you have a really good employee that just needs a little bit more oomph? Wouldn't you rather train them than start over with somebody that you don't know and take a risk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean the new hire as well. I think more companies are willing to give new hires an opportunity to learn a skill than say they were 30 or 40 years ago. Like if you 30, 40 years ago, if you came into a company and you didn't have any experience in that, it was most likely you weren't getting a job. But I think today, from what I've noticed in talking to other people that have gotten jobs, younger people, I was like, how'd you get that job? They go, well, I didn't have any experience, but they were willing to train me. And I was like, wow, cool. So I don't know if that's could be a good thing, could be a bad thing, but I think that,
and maybe this has a lot to do with the work industry right now, because after COVID, the work industry was like a crapshoot and a half. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn all the time, and I see all these positions that are like, it's an entry level position, but you need to have a bachelor's degree or 5 years of for an entry level position.
Hold
That's
on.
not entry level.
And then it's like $11 an hour, and you're
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
like,
I got a
how am I
BA, and
paying
I'm
off my student loans?
wait a minute. I went to college.
need
I
2
got a
jobs
BA.
to
It
pay
cost
off
me
my- yeah.
$80,000. I'm still paying it off. You want me to take an entry level job and make $11 an hour?
Exactly.
What our shop did is we got bigger and bigger and bigger. They actually would recruit to the colleges, and they would offer internships
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
kids.
Paid
in college.
internships?
I don't know if they were paid or not because I was in the field, but they would bring them in, and they had waiting lists for these kids to come in
Yeah.
and work in various, not in the field, but in office positions to learn estimating, CAD, accounting, HR, because, we were like a nationwide big company at that point.
Mhm.
And they would have waiting lists from different colleges from down south to Chico. I mean, all over Northern
That's
California.
smart. That's smart.
To
That is
come in
smart.
and then get their feet wet in
Yeah.
a real company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
Mhm.
is smart. That is really smart. Gina, what
Yes,
did you
sir.
got? Did you have Millennial Minute? I didn't see anything on there.
I do have a millennial minute. I only briefly mentioned it in chat.
Yeah.
But it's more of a grinds my gears millennial minute.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to
Uh-oh.
talk about what the fuck is going on with humans and texting and driving. Now, I don't know how bad it is in California, but in the Midwest, I'm about to start keeping a roll of quarters in my car, and I'm just going to start flinging them at people.
It's a big ticket out here.
It's a big ticket here too, but nobody seems to give a fuck.
No, they don't.
And
They
it
don't.
doesn't seem to matter the age of the driver. Today, I got stuck behind a lady that had to have been in her 70s with her face clearly in her lap, texting, swerving all over the. I live in the city of Kenosha. It's downtown. There's a light every 4 blocks. You can't be doing that. There's 4 lanes of traffic just on this side of road. You're going to hurt somebody.
See, now, my car, it reads the text to me.
Yeah, me too.
Mine does too, which is why it baffles me that people still do this.
But everybody's not driving high-end cars like us, man.
My car's a 2018. It's not even that new.
Mine's a 2019. It reads the text to me, and I can text back to it, and it will send it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And everyone's phone has voice to text. It's one button. Your car doesn't do it, fine. It is still one button to voice to text. You do not need to be put your hands on the goddamn wheel.
You know what pisses me off too is they think it's okay to do it when they get to the light. And the light's red and they're sitting there and they're texting and then they're not paying attention and then they rear end somebody or because they're not paying attention.
Yeah, because somebody in the turn lane
everybody
moves.
Misses.
I always get the ones that because you get the turn lane and the straight lane, right? And the turn lane and the straight lane lights never go at the same time, right? So if you're not paying attention and you see the car in the corner of your eye move and you let off the brake and bang into the front guy because their light is still red.
See, I've done that without texting just because not coffee. Like, oops, that's the wrong color. Slam on brakes.
Oh, yeah. See, Philip in there. Too. Kind of. I don't know if it has that. Well, you know what? It probably does have a lot to do with fucking being on your phone too. But man, I tell you, the road rage has gotten really crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's some angry fucking people driving right now, dude. Fuck.
I hate driving on the highway for that very reason. You should.
Yeah, but you're not going to get, but Deana, you're not going to. But
they
Deana,
shoot each other out here.
Yeah, I don't picture Deana
do it here too.
Pulling out in front of after she gets cut off, like chasing some. I don't picture you chasing them and then cutting in front of them.
You don't know me very well, do you? Oh, I do that. I'm not a very nice driver.
I'm actually thinking about for the first time getting a fucking front-facing camera on my fucking car just to protect myself.
You need that, but you need it from the insurance scammers too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can get that from your insurance company.
Yeah, because insurance scammers will get up there and they'll be in front of you, and they'll back into you and claim that you were into them. Where they've actually
Geico sells those, or they give them away, or
State Farm and Progressive both have a safe driver camera thing that you can hook up to your car, and it reduces your premiums
Big Brother
But
watching.
it also monitors the way that you drive.
Oh yeah, see, I don't like
Big
that
Brother's
part.
watching. They offered that to me at Nationwide, and I said, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
I can put
I'm
my own
nervous 'cause
camera. I can put my own camera in. It will watch everything without you monitoring me.
Right, I can do that too. That's why I was looking at the one I have. I can do that. And just just buy one and put it in there and have it record and save.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Matter of fact, that's why one of my reasons my insurance went up, because I didn't know that I had the location thing set on the Geico app. So it's tracking and now it notices that I'm not, just driving, because I worked from home. I didn't put many miles on my car. So now they see that I'm driving.
You're commuting, yeah.
Yeah, now they're like,
my
oh,
insurance company, my renewal is coming up, right? So I got the letter, which is standard every year, right?
Yeah.
So I had to call Nationwide and go, yeah. And they go, all right, well, we got, you're the only one at home, yep. And you're the only driver of the car, yep. And we got you at 13,000 miles a year. I said, every year I have this conversation with you guys. I said, it's 4,000 or less.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put it on the record. I said, and every year you tell me that as well when I call you, and you always have 13,000. Well, how many miles you got on the car? I said, well, let's see. So 2019 is 2024. So the car is what, 6 years old now? Yeah. So it's got 14,540 miles on it. Hardly 13,000 a year since it's 6 years old, right?
Yeah, 6 years old.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, you say that every year. So here we go again.
Insurance is a freaking scam.
Insurance
is a scam.
No. I've been like fucking.
Go, well, how far do you commute for work? Well, one, when I
my
was
bedroom
working,
to the kitchen.
When I was working, I had a company truck, so I didn't use my car. Two, as like I said 7 years ago, I'm retired. Been for 7 years now. Oh, well, we'll put that in our record. Yeah, again, you said that last year.
Yeah, you said that last year.
Will you though? Will you though?
Versus like my commute is my bedroom to my kitchen. That's about 400 feet.
By the way, the car is garage because you have my home insurance as well.
Yeah. It's insane. I just noticed so many of those fucking
and in your insurance
videos, man. It's just insane, dude.
Car insurance went up
33% for everybody. Yeah.
Here too, everybody's insurance went up just
because
of
Biden.
Wisconsin.
Kamala, thank you.
I called him. I don't think why did you go up? I said I'm a year older and my car's a year older. Why am I paying more?
Yeah, you know what we should do, Bruce?
Because everybody got that glorious raise.
Yeah.
Because everyone's texting and driving.
Yeah, I think we should have Deana, because she's in one of those battle states. I think Deana should just run a Trump campaign from her house there for us. We'll do an all Trump show.
That's hilarious.
Let's do
hate
all
Trump with a fiery passion. He reminds me of one of my drunken uncles. Every time he opens his mouth, I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's a box of Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Just stop talking. Just stop talking.
Yeah, the Tesla has the cameras. I like that. My son's car, you got the front-facing camera. They got cameras there. I think there's like 14 fucking cameras.
It guards the car when you park it.
Yeah.
Somebody gets near it, the camera comes on.
I hate that. My dad's got a newer Jeep than mine, but it's the same Jeep, and he's got the side cameras, and it beeps when somebody's in his side mirror.
Yeah,
mine does. It doesn't beep, but the light flashes inside the side mirror.
No, man, I drove that. It scared the shit out of me when I rented that car. I rented that Chevy Malibu, brand new Chevy Malibu at Enterprise, and all the sensor things were on. I didn't know,
Yep.
So I get to the light, and I did that same thing that I said you shouldn't do, is be on your phone while you're at the light. And I thought the light had turned green, so I went to go step on the gas, and it just goes bah, 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 bah. I mean, scared the living fucking shit out of me.
Did it self-brake?
It self-braked, yeah. It self-braked. I was like, son of a bitch, man.
That'll learn you.
What does John do?
Go to
the
lane keeping assist.
Yeah.
You know, where
I
it
went in
either
there.
jerks the wheel back or it
Yeah,
vibrates to let you
yeah.
know that you're.
I went in the settings and shut that damn thing up, man, because that scared the living shit out of me, man. I was like,
I'm
God damn.
kind of wishing I'd have recorded myself on my commute to work this morning because I have the road rage. I can't stand when people can't do the speed limit. I can't stand when people are in the left lane doing 10 under the highway speed. Get over. I can't stand when freight trucks just park out in the fast lane. Bro, it says slow to that side. You're getting paid by the hour. I need to get where I'm going.
All right, I'm going to do these real quick here. We'll have some fun the last half hour here. And then we'll talk about what our conclusion about men and women. Bruce, would you rather have smelly feet or bad breath?
Smelly feet.
Smelly feet. Deana?
Same.
Yeah, me too, man. Fuck, ain't nothing worse, man. Like, too. People are like, oh, Jesus Christ, man.
You put a shoe on. It's easier to put a shoe on than for shit.
Would you rather run into an alien or Bigfoot, Bruce?
Alien.
You just want to get probed, huh? How about you, Deana?
I'm saying Bigfoot. I'm saying Bigfoot. He's at least probably a primate.
I think either one
you get probed too.
Yeah, I
different probe.
When I was reading this one, I'm like, dude, well, we really don't know how friendly aliens are. We're not sure about Bigfoot. So I don't know. It's just depending in my head. It's like, who's going to beat the shit out of me the least?
Well, I figured an alien would have more advanced technology, so maybe I'll actually have a better chance of living. Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's good.
He might just, nobody's ever going to find it. Yeah.
He might just grab you and break you in half, thinking you're a fucking Slim Jim, fucking.
Yeah, he's not going to go. I'll go, okay, tell him you never saw me and I'm not over here. Yeah. Now you're dead.
I'm a hairy lady. I might have a chance.
You might have a chance. You might have a chance. Let me see these. Where are they all at? There you go. Would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self? That's a tough one, man.
I'm going to say my past self because I'm hoping that conversation would improve my future self.
Yeah, you got to be careful though, Deana. You got to be careful. Those kids might be gone.
Well,
I'm trying to find the problem with this.
Could you live with? Yeah, you liar. You liar.
But you're kind of doing both, because if you're talking to your past self, the future self is already talking to the past self.
It's a domino effect. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you're basically doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a paradox.
It's the paradox. You're in the box. You're in the box. Yeah, my biggest fear, it would be that, like, if I were to go in the past, do something stupid to where I would just, completely by accident alter my entire life, and it would suck.
Your future self wouldn't let you do that, John.
Yeah, no, but but it would be okay if my future self didn't know what I had when it took place in you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know I had 3 kids.
That's where the paradox is. Your future self knows what this self is. Now future self is having past self getting effed with. So now future self could come back to present self and tell you not to go back and talk to past self.
Fuck the Terminator.
We got to go back to the future, Marty.
All right, you lost Critter. Her BF is
her
there.
Man, she's going to get she's going to go have
BF.
fun. Have fun. Her man.
Is that BF for best fuck or just best friend?
No, it
could be boyfriend too.
It could be boyfriend. Let's see here. Would you rather be consistently sticky or consistently itchy?
God, God, I would just kill
That's a
myself.
tough one.
I pick C. I would just die.
C. I pick
I
C.
would say
already
I'd
itchy
rather be
most of the
sticky than
time.
itchy.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know,
gross.
dude. Like when I do cans and I get all sticky, I hate that. Like I got all this sticky shit all over my
But I hate to be
soda.
itchy all over the place too, though. That's no fun.
Would you rather be a member of the Kardashian family or a member of the Obama family?
Obama family. At least they're respected. Jesus.
Well, you have no,
Kardashians are famous for a sex tape. Come on.
yeah, sex
Yeah,
tape and booties
glad-
and their booties.
Yeah, I might go Kardashian then.
Yeah.
Incest is not wincest, Bruce.
Huh?
Incest is not wincest, Bruce.
Here's a good one. Would you rather, Bruce, look like a fish or smell like a fish?
Look like a fish.
You look like a fish.
Yeah.
You too, Dana?
I want to be where the people aren't.
Chased through the forest by. Oh, would you rather be chased through a forest by a zombie or by a lion? I'm going zombie. I think I got a
I'm
better
going
shot.
zombie. I don't think they're that coordinated or fast.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you get one of those.
I don't think they can climb trees either. So.
Yeah, I think it depends on what movie zombie you're referencing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
28 days later zombies, you're dead.
No.
You're fucked.
Or the super zombies.
Don't make a sound; they will attack you.
Yeah, zombie. That's the new zombies from the zombie movie with I want to say Woody Boyd, but that's not his name.
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Yeah. Yeah, those zombies were, except for the special zombies at the end. But the Brad Pitt zombies were pretty nasty.
The Brad Pitt
God,
zombies
here
are
we
nasty.
go. Here we go, Dina. Would you rather switch your body with your ex or switch your body with your grandmother?
Grandma.
Grandma.
My grandma was hot.
With my
your
ex? What do you mean ex?
Ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, or your grandmother?
Well, since she's passed away, well, actually both are passed away now.
Yeah.
God, that would be just nasty at the moment. I'd be dead either way.
Yeah, that's true. You're dead either way. Yeah.
I think you're in the same boat, aren't you, John?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Yeah.
That's not really a fair question because my ex is a dude.
Would you rather live in a world without music or a world without movies?
Movies.
Yeah. Would you rather be covered in hair or have no hair at all?
No hair.
No hair.
I would go no hair because I'm already pretty hairy for a lady.
Yeah. Would you rather be? Oh, that's a good one. Would you rather be on a dating show or a survival show?
Survival.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I
would rather be on.
What is happening, Phil?
Dating.
Yeah, I think I'd rather be on a dating show, man. Survival show, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Naked and Afraid. Yeah.
Naked and Afraid? That show is amazing.
Yeah.
I would do that show in a heartbeat.
Oh, God, take that image out of your head, John. Would you rather
Let's
be...
do it, John. Let's do it.
We got a furry D running around naked.
I just pictured Deana naked walking around with that little leather pouch. That's what I just...
Well, she said she's pretty furry, though. You mean
I just told you I'm a very hairy lady, and you still want that.
And I'm like,
I'll keep it safe from Bigfoot.
I'm thinking, no, Deana, you walk in front of me.
Maybe this is why she's not afraid of Bigfoot.
Would you rather be too hot or too cold?
Too cold. You can only take off so many layers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Too cold.
Would you rather be famous as an artist or a famous athlete, Bruce?
Oh, athlete.
Athlete. I think guys are all going to say athlete.
Yeah, probably, because I would definitely pick artist.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. She has all that hair. She keep me warm too. So
Body temperature regulated.
Would you rather
sheets, so.
discover a new planet or find a sunken treasure?
Sunken treasure. That planet ain't paying you shit.
Yeah.
That planet,
I don't care if it's got my name on it or not. Nobody's going to know.
Oh, this is an interesting one, though. Would you rather live on a boat or a treehouse? Treehouse. I'm treehouse, man.
Boat.
Treehouse. Just an elaborate treehouse. Have Bruce come and do all the electrical work, so I know it works good. Treehouse. Yeah, Bruce, how about you?
Have a little speed pole coming down.
Yeah.
Probably
the girls would just get stuck.
No. Your treehouse burns down, you're fucked. My boathouse burns down, I can swim to shore.
No, there's sharks out there.
There's sharks out there.
Yeah.
There's killer whales.
And I heard they like hairy women, so. Yeah. Would you rather wear the same color every day for a year or wear the same hairstyle forever?
Well,
dude, I've been rocking the same hairstyle my whole life, so that's kind of.
I'm not seeing a downside to either, honestly.
If you're in prison, you're wearing the same outfit.
That's for damn sure.
And probably the same hairstyle.
Yeah. Would you rather? This is an easy one for me. Would you rather give up breakfast or dinner? Dinner. I'm a breakfast guy.
Breakfast.
Can I pick breakfast foods for dinner?
I can't give up breakfast. I love breakfast. Eggs, sausage, bacon, toast, pancakes.
I've never been a big breakfast eater, but I like a big dinner though.
This is an interesting one for you guys. Would you rather live 1,000 years life or 10 100-year lives?
10 100-year lives.
Yep.
Yeah.
I see the 1000.
Yeah, you get to die.
Knows what you're going to look like when you're 1,000 years old.
Well, you get to die and come back as a baby, right? And then start all over again. Yeah.
Instead of watching the people you love die over and over again while you outlive them.
Well, if you're living to 100, you're probably watching a lot of those people go anyways, too.
Depends. Are we talking about now? Because the what is it? Gen Alpha's life expectancy right now is like 120 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they're still saying men are mid 70s and women are early 80s.
Yeah.
I still don't want to even live that long. That's too much.
Like everyone I know right now, unfortunately, but is just getting to 80. That's the magic number. It's just 80, 82. My parents were 85. My dad was 85. My mom was 84. So that's that threshold number. Yeah.
Yeah. My grandma is still alive and she's in her 90s.
Yeah.
Her mother lived to be 98. That's too much. Couldn't do it.
If you're still one flexible still, you're actually able to move around and have coherent conversations, I wouldn't mind being that old, as long as, I know that driving is not going to be possible at that age because your reflexes aren't going to be there. But if I can have those other three things where I'm actually flexible still and mobile still, and it can still
you're not breaking a hip and getting out of the chair.
Right. Yeah. And still have, some sort of meaningful conversation with people or still communicate with people. Yeah. I'd be cool with that.
You're not having the same conversation every 2 minutes.
Yeah. What? Huh? Oh yeah. Billy's at college. Billy went to college. No, Grandma asked you if you wanted ice cream. Oh. Have your hands, would you rather have your hands stuck in a jar, Jesus Christ, or get your head stuck in a bucket?
I think the hand in the jar. Yeah.
What was the game with the 240s?
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. Fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs.
Yeah. That's all I got, guys.
I've got one for you.
Go.
I've got one for you. Would you rather lose your mind or your physical abilities?
Physical abilities.
Yep.
Like I said, I want my mind. I want to be able to I could care less if I'm just a piece of paper laying. If I can't actually have some sort of sense of where I'm at and communicate with people, that would suck. That might as well. Well, I still want mobility, so hopefully I'm physically
but you get
still.
to pick one. You get one.
I'll take the mind. I'd rather have my mind than my physical attributes.
So your brain works, but your dick don't. You're okay with that?
That's fine. That's fine.
And you
I'll
can't even wipe-
mind fuck
can't-
you. I'll mind fuck
Can't
you.
even,
There you go. There
can't
you
even wipe your own butt anymore, John.
That's all right. Hey, that's why you have grandkids, Bruce.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. We have 15 minutes, man. Guys, what do you want to throw
Yeah.
out? Anything you want to throw out there? Bruce, you got anything you want to throw out there?
No.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I ain't got nobody. Well, we'll go into that. We'll just end with what our main topic was again, just kind of go back to a little bit of what we talked about. Again, I think we're all in agreement that, it doesn't matter gender. Leadership's a whole different thing when it comes to how you are running a company or running employees. So I think gender really has nothing to do with it. I think a lot of it has to do with how you were raised as a child, your life story, how your employment history was. All that I think comes into consideration once you get to a supervisor. Basing it on gender alone is stupid.
Nope.
Right, because you can be a 24-year-old, very experienced in the mind person that walks into a leadership position, but when all the shit hits the fan and you're trying to work your shit out, it might not be so easy to let things roll off your back.
Yeah. Bruce, you agree with that? You think it has nothing to do with gender so much as just your history, your life history, how you were raised.
It also depends on the job.
The industry that you're in.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has to do with I mean, you're probably like you're saying, there's probably a little bit more now today than probably 30, 40 years ago, but females
they would literally do recruitment drives to try to get more women in the apprenticeship program, and a lot of them would sign up. They have to go through the testing and stuff to get in. Yeah. But once they got into the program and found that the physical work that was involved in it, they probably had a 70% bail rate.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or they would, they were young enough that they want to get married and have a kid, and then not really able to continue with the trade because
you can't when you're pregnant.
Yeah. Well, that's that I think we ran into the same thing in the trucking industry. Let me think. No, I didn't have one single female truck driver from when I started to when I ended. And a lot of it to do when I first started. Again, you had to have 2 years experience. So I got my experience hauling grapes and tomatoes, and they considered 6 months of agricultural as 2 years experience because you're working 12, 14-hour shifts.
Oh yeah. You guys are hauling crazy.
Yeah. You're just back and forth. So they always, if you could get through that 6 month period, you got yourself 2 years experience.
Well, but again, that's seasonal too. So
that's seasonal. Yeah. And a lot of it had to do with the reason, I can understand back in the days for a woman to try to turn a truck that had no power steering probably wasn't going to happen. And the introduction of power steering and the automatic today now, the automatic's a big deal because now anybody can jump into the cab of a semi, start it up, put it in drive, and step on the throttle.
Yeah, because how many gears? How many gears in a manual?
My first truck was a 13-speed with a splitter.
But some of them are higher than that, right?
Yeah. They're up there. Some of them would have two splitters. So it's like 18-speed, for instance, and you would have to have 2 splitters to get up into those taller gears, and then remember what gear you're in, because you had to drop down gears. And if you don't remember what gear you're in, and you're hitting that splitter up and down, trying to figure out, wait a minute, where am I? Yeah. So I think like today, right before I left, my company got all automatic trucks. And that was kind of some of the guys didn't like it. Some of the guys did like it. I loved it because it was like, one of the things at the end of my shift, my left leg hurt like fucking hell because I was constantly clutching, because I'm coming from the Bay Area every night. So I'm hitting bumper to bumper traffic. You can't float gears in bumper to bumper traffic. I can do that on the freeway with some good, distance between. I can float gears. I don't have to use the clutch, but not having to use that clutch and being an automatic and still having the power with a full load to go upgrade. I was like, this is heaven, man. This is heaven. And then I started seeing more. But just before I left, a lot of the companies finally got smart, like over the road companies, and started no longer trying to pair guys with guys in trucks. What they were trying to do is get husband and wife teams.
Yep.
So you get a husband and wife team in a truck, that truck never stops because they're constantly switching turns, taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
4 hours on, 4 hours off. If you do that 4 hour off, 4 hour on, you get across the country pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, the only time you stop is to fuel up.
Yeah. They changed that law now, but it's you actually now, from what I understand, the sleeper is no longer considered downtime.
Oh, really?
So it's a hotel. You have to have a motel or a hotel.
Physically out of the truck, huh?
What?
You're physically out of the truck, yeah. Which makes sense because you're not getting, Deana, believe me, you're not getting a comfortable night's sleep in that cab while it's rolling down the freeway.
Sure, that makes sense.
Then we have the net. You put the net up in the cab just in case that guy falls asleep and wrecks the truck and you don't come flying out of the sleeper. There's this net that goes up. Every time I get in there and he'd give me a dirty look. He's like, "What, you don't trust me?" Fuck no, I don't trust you, motherfucker.
It's not like there's a seatbelt back here.
Ain't no damn seatbelt. If this truck crashes, you're dying, motherfucker, not me, man. I'm gonna be covered. I'm gonna roll into this mattress. I'm gonna get hit with the microwave and the TV that's back there, but at least I know I'm not gonna fly out of the cab of the truck. All right, guys. That's it. Anything, Bruce? What you learned today, Bruce?
That men and women can both have leadership positions and do well.
Yeah, Bruce. What a safe PC answer that was. That's good. That's perfect.
Well played, sir.
And after the show, I'm going to go sit in my quiet room and
in my quiet room.
Box.
Put my
with the juice box in my comfort pillow.
Oh, hey, don't forget the orange wedges. Orange wedges. You gotta have the orange wedges. And the trophy.
Happening.
And the trophy. Gotta have a trophy.
Oh, the participation trophy. Yes.
Yeah, gotta have the participation. A real quick story. I don't know if I ever told this story, but my son JP, his first year of soccer, before I started coaching him, his first year they lost every single game. So they went 0-14, right? So at the end of the season, his parents, we all come together, and one of the female women parents.
Female women? Okay.
Yeah, one of the women parents gets us all together.
In today's society.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Bruce.
I can see that,
Yeah. One of the moms, let me put it this way. One of the moms approaches all of us and goes, "Well, I think we should get the boys trophies." And I looked up at her and I was like, "Well, what is that trophy going to say?" I said, 0-14, great season. What are you writing on the plaque? And she goes, "Oh, no, I think the boys should get a trophy." And I was like, "No," I said, "I'm not participating in this. My son knows that he lost every single game. They know these kids aren't stupid that they lost. Do you think this kid, your son, wants to hang this fucking 0-14 trophy in his fucking room
as a remembrance to my 0-14 season?"
No, they take this experience onto next year and try to do better. But no, I'm not paying for a trophy for my son to go 0-14. Then I coach after that, I was like, no, nobody's coaching my son but me. Yeah. So yeah, it was horrible. Deana, what did you learn today? Our female co-host.
I learned that you guys are not as misogynistic as I originally suspected.
Yeah, see? Yeah, it's good. That's good. Right, Percy? That's good.
We fooled her, John. We fooled her.
Yeah, we fooled her. Wait till when this show's over. You got to see what me and Bruce are going to do. We're just gonna walk up and down the street yelling at women. You think you could be a CEO? Huh? You think?
You're not a leader. You're not a
You
leader.
can't handle this job, yeah, woman. No, we're not. No, we're not. Like I said,
I know you wouldn't. You'd get shot.
Yeah.
True.
Like I said, I haven't had a lot of female bosses, supervisors throughout my work history. I had 2, and one was early at Budget Rent a Car, Joyce. She was a great manager, and my supervisor today. And like I said, I think she's 24, is just an absolutely amazing woman that's working 2 jobs, running a family with 2 kids and busting her butt. And her leadership skills are amazing. She runs a great office. So I have like 2 positive experiences of female being my boss or my supervisor. So yeah, I mean, I think we all agreed it has a lot to do with a lot of other things than just being a male or female.
Than the gender. Exactly. I've had positive experiences and negative experiences with both female and male supervisors. It depends. There's a lot of factors.
I don't even want to spell that word. No, kidding. No.
Equity. Equality.
It's equality, but I don't want to agree. I don't want to agree with equality.
It's kind of like a quality equity thing.
Yeah. I think that
might be a real word. I don't know.
I don't know. It might be. I've never heard of it before. I understand that people want some of that, but I just don't get it.
Equality.
That word does not work in the general workforce. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, that's about it, guys. Great show, guys. Anything else you guys want to throw out there? You got 4 minutes. You want to throw out some hate for somebody? Go ahead. Do it now, Bruce. Who do you hate, Bruce? What grinds your gears, Bruce? You have 4 minutes.
I'm retired. Nothing grinds my gears anymore.
Nothing. All right, I got it. You show up to the golf course and they say they're closed because they're moving the holes on the greens. And they didn't tell you.
No.
Does that piss you off? That doesn't even piss you off. Right?
It only happens twice a year, and they do 9 holes at a time. So
they only do it twice a year.
They only punch twice a year.
Oh shit!
And they split it. That's smart.
Yeah.
They don't have to close the course. You just play 1/2 twice. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, that is smart. Anything else?
No, I think what grinds would be like you show up and they're not as good golfers, and they think they are in their minds, and they decide that they're going to hit from the blue tees, which are the farthest back tees,
of course,
and they can barely get off the tee box.
Yeah,
and their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh shot aren't much better.
Yeah. Or they turn around and look at you and you go, "Oh, I think I'm 90 yards from the hole. What club should I use?"
Oh, and they're just playing totally slow because they're just,
I can see Bruce out there fucking slamming his club in the ground, yelling at people. The fuck?
Get out of the way!
Can we play through? I always just say, "Hey, you guys are playing, I'm being nice. I'd be nice."
I've played through a lot of people.
Yeah. I try to be nice. I would always say, "Hey guys, we're kind of in a hurry. If you don't mind, can we play through?" And most of the time, if you're nice about it, they'll let you.
Oh
through.
Yeah. I mean, some
if
people.
You go up to them and go, "You're fucking slow as fucking molasses,
slower
bitch.
As shit, guys. You guys just stop here. We're gonna go right through it." So
yeah.
Peanut butter jelly time.
That's it. That's time to go. All right, everybody. We will see everybody next week. Thank you, Deana. Thank you, Bruce. Johnny's got to work at midnight, so he's going to get some friggin' sleep. And I don't know who's
set the alarm.
Yeah, I'm going to set 3 alarms, Bruce. All right, everybody, look at the camera and say goodbye. Bye.
Good night. Have a weekend.